welcome back everyone. Thanks for coming back to the channel. So it's been a couple days since we got back from Radwood. Unfortunately, we didn't win anything, but that's fine. I'm just glad that the car was out and it had a pretty good reception. However, we developed a pretty significant issue on the car. So on the way home, on the last video that I made, I was noticing that the car was pulling to the left a little bit. And no matter what I would do, the car would constantly just go off, drift to the left. So that means my alignment's bad. So I gotta fix it. Now, I can't find a reputable alignment shop anywhere near here that's relatively cheap. So I'm going to be doing a backyard alignment. What is backyard alignment? It's exactly what it sounds like. You're just doing alignment at home in your backyard, for me, in the garage. Oh well. So how do you do a backyard alignment? Well, a couple of years ago, I was at Summit Racing in McDonough, Georgia at the scratch and dent sale, and I bought these plates from All Star Performance. Now basically what you do is you take them and you affix them to the wheel as best you can. For me, I have it kind of strapped to the inside spokes of the wheel, and then it stays nice and taut to the wheel. And what you do is they come with two of them. So that one and that one up front. So what I've done is, my dad taught me this a long time ago. You take a piece of string, and not with these plates, but with, you know, boards back then. You take a piece of string, put a knot on it, put it in that little slot. And then on the opposite tire, on the front, you do the same thing. And that will give you a straight line to look down on the tire, just like that. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna come over here to the steering side. We're gonna make sure that our wheel is where we want it. So I want that to be nice and square, just like so. So now what we do is we come over here and we can see the angle of which the string is coming off of the plate. Now, what I want to do is I want to make sure that this side comes straight and it starts to get in line with the back tire, because the back tires will always be true. In most cases, they'll always be true and straight. But the front tires, those are the ones you got to adjust. So let's crawl under the car. So in most modern vehicles today, you basically have a really simple setup, and all you really need is an adjustable wrench and a pair of vice grips. So I've already loosened the retaining nut on my my steering rods there, and we're gonna adjust that to make sure that the rope starts to become, instead of going to the left to the right, we want to make sure it lines up straight with the back tire. So this is how we do it. So right there is our steering rod. What we got right here, this is the retaining nut. This is what screws in and out and locks against the actual steering rod end. What it basically does is, if you go take this shaft right here, which has these little splines here, which is what you hook on the vice grips to, what you do is you clip onto it and you gotta turn it left or turn it right. And that's going to adjust whether the tire goes out or in. So that's called toe. And what I want to make sure right now is that my toe is set to 0, or as best as I can, until you take it to an actual alignment shop and they can verify the settings for me. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and adjust that, and we're going to see the rope here on the very end start to close the gap. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll adjust and I'll set the camera out there so you can see adjust in real time. So on your screen, what you can see is the wheel is currently pigeon-toed out, meaning that the tires are pointing outward. And the term for pigeon-toed comes from a pigeon's toes. They look like this. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and back this out. And as you can see, slowly but surely, that gap is starting to close. So now, what I'll show you is I'll show you what pigeon-toed in looks like. And I'm going to keep going in the same direction, and what you're going to see is you're going to see the back end of that plate is starting to bend that string, which means that the back side of my tire is kicking out more than the front side of my tire, meaning that my tire is pointed inward. That is your pigeon-toed in, or toe in. So you can see the gap. This is what I'm looking down right now. So if I turn it outward, this is giving my car pigeon toe out by spreading open that gap. But I don't want that. I want just a little bit of pigeon toe in. So what I'm gonna do, keep going right until that gap just barely touches the plate. Right there. And what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna lock that down, and I'm gonna go do the same exact thing to the other side. So we got that adjusted, so I'm gonna take this retaining nut, screw it all the way in. Just like so. Then we're gonna snug it up. All right, so we put our string and our plates on the other side, and as we can see, it's a little bit towed out. So let's see if I can zoom in just a little bit and I'll show you. See that it's just towed out just a little bit. So we're gonna fix that. We're gonna try and make this plate edge here kind of press into our string. So let's go ahead and crawl under and make the adjustments. All right, that's done. So why is it important to have why did I choose to put my tires to go towed in instead of straight and true? Well, the reason being is, I mean, this car is extremely modified. It makes over 500 horsepower when it's on full tilt at like 42 PSI. Usually I just run it right around wastegate pressure to 35 PSI, but if I feel like being froggy, I'll run it up to 42 PSI just for kicks and giggles and stuff like that. But, so, with it being a front wheel drive car, your tires, under load, want to go inward. That's just the nature of the beast. It's like a big lever. So the tires, as they're spinning, they want to go this way, as a circle. But as you're under throttle, your tires want to go forward. So if you start with your tires square, then your driving is going to be, it's going to want to walk all over the road a little bit. With your tires splayed out, when you're under throttle, they'll come back in, and this is all in like super small increments, like it's like 1 to maybe 2 degrees if you have some messed up joints in there. But if you set your initial alignment to where your tires are towed outward a little bit and they become square under load, then your day-to-day driving out on the road is your car is going to go everywhere. So most cars from the factory actually have their wheels towed in a little bit because it's trying to go into a central direction. It's trying to go straight. So what you want to do is basically keep your wheels a little bit towed in. Now that might be a little counterintuitive on front wheel drive vehicles, but it's been proven true for, you know, plenty of times. Now I'm not going to go into camber and caster, how far your tires are set inside and outside the well. Today I'm just trying to get my car to drive straight and to stop going to the left a little bit. And that could have been from a number of causes, like I dropped the K-member to fix the steering rack and reinforce it a little bit, and I may have gotten my alignment a little bit out. It's fine, it still drives perfectly normal on the street, and then under load it goes in a straight line, but I gotta fight the wheel a little bit. But yeah, so squared that up a little bit, towed them in, and I'm gonna go take it for a drive real quick. So let's see how that goes. Just driving straight. Nope, she seems to be doing just fine. I can fix the steering wheel a little bit. All I gotta do is just take the steering wheel off and then just move it over a little bit on the splines, and that'll fix the issue of it being a little bit little lopsided. But she's tracking straight finally. I don't have to fight it from going left like it was doing. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take it on the highway real quick, just do one exit just to see how she does on the highway, and then bring it back home, and then we'll wrap up the video. So, all right, see you in a second. All right, back in the garage. So, did great on the highway. Track straight, idle was right, or sorry, the RPMs are right around 2,000 RPM. Track nice and straight down the highway, didn't have any issues. So, I want to say that this backyard alignment worked great. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.